dead pigs in shirts, flies on flowers, and a war where mothers know more than machines. In cartel country, Mexico's scientists are digging up answers, not just bones. It's forensic science, it's desperation, and it's the only hope for the disappeared. But will it find the truth or bury it? In the fields of Mexico's Jalisco, an unusual experiment unfolds. Scientists dress dead pigs in human clothing, wrap some in packing tape, chop others into pieces, stuff them into plastic bags, cover them with lime, and burn them. Then they watch what happens next. This macabre research serves a desperate purpose. Mexico faces a missing persons crisis of staggering proportions. More than 130,000 people have vanished during decades of drug cartel violence, making Mexico's disappeared population larger than any other Latin American nation. The United Nations has indicated these disappearances appear generalized or systematic. The crisis exploded after 2006, when then-President Felipe Calderón launched his war against drug cartels. The strategy of targeting cartel leaders led to the splintering of organized crime and a multiplication of violence as groups fought to control territory. With near-complete impunity, cartels discovered that making people disappear was preferable to leaving bodies in the streets. José Luis Silvan, a coordinator of the mapping project and scientist at Centro Geo, a federal research institute focused on geospatial information, explains the urgency behind their work to Associated Press.
This isn't pure science, it is science in action. Everything learned has to be applied immediately rather than wait for it to mature because there's urgency.
The search for the missing typically falls to their families. Parents and siblings walk through dangerous cartel territory, plunging metal rods into the earth and sniffing for the scent of death. Since 2007, around 6,000 clandestine graves have been discovered, yet tens of thousands of remains await identification. Jalisco State, home to the powerful Jalisco New Generation Cartel, reports the highest number of missing persons at 15,500. This is why researchers chose this location for their groundbreaking study.
Jalisco's disappeared or why we're here?
The mapping project, launched in 2023, represents an unprecedented collaboration between Guadalajara University, Mexico's National Autonomous University, the University of Oxford, and the Jalisco Search Commission. Derek Congram, a Canadian forensic anthropologist whose expertise in geographic information systems inspired the Mexican project, notes the uniqueness of this effort.
No other country is pushing so strongly, so creatively to test and combine new techniques.
The research combines cutting-edge technology with hard-won knowledge from grieving families. Pigs serve as human proxies because they share about 98% of DNA with humans and possess similar physical characteristics, including size, fat distribution, and skin structure and thickness, according to the US National Library of Medicine. Scientists employ an array of sophisticated tools. A Colombian drone equipped with a hyperspectral camera flies over burial sites, measuring light reflected by soil substances including nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus as the pigs decompose. Thermal drones, laser scanners, and other devices register anomalies, underground movements, and electrical currents. One set of graves sits behind transparent acrylic, allowing real-time observation of decomposition. The Jalisco Commission analyses flies, beetles, plants, and soil from both human and pig graves. Tunuari Chavez, the Commission's Director of Context Analysis, describes each grave as a living micro-ecosystem. The project began taking shape after the 2014 disappearance of 43 students triggered Silvan and his colleagues to gather information about ground-penetrating radar, electric resistivity, and satellite imagery from around the world. They studied research from the University of Tennessee's Body Farm and examined grave mapping techniques used in the Balkans, Colombia, and Ukraine.
What good is science or technology if it doesn't solve problems?
Their experiments revealed important findings. Lime used by criminals to dispose of bodies is easily detected, but hydrocarbons, hydrochloric acid, and burned flesh are not. The team also mapped cartel behavior patterns, determining that disappearances in Jalisco commonly occur along routes between Pacific ports, drug manufacturing facilities, and the US border. The family's expertise proves invaluable to the research. Some observed that graves often lie under trees with vertically growing roots, providing shade for diggers. When mothers of missing loved ones visited pig burial sites, they identified most unmarked graves by sight alone, recognizing telltale signs in plant growth and soil placement.
The knowledge flows in both directions. Flowers came up because of the phosphorus at the surface. We didn't see that last year. The mothers who search say that little yellow flower always blooms over the tombs, and they use them as a guide.
For families like Maribel Cedeno, who has searched for her missing brother for 4 years, the technology offers hope.
I never imagined being in this situation, finding bodies, becoming such an expert.
Yet skepticism exists. Hector Flores, searching for his son since 2021, questions the investment in unproven methods when families have demonstrated success with little official support. Congram acknowledges technology's limitations, warning it is not a panacea. He estimates that 90% of searches are resolved with a good witness and digging. Still, he believes persistence is essential.
You always have to try, fail again, and keep trying.
The scale of the challenge becomes clearer when considering the broader context. Official data from 2013 showed 26,000 missing people, but that number has quintupled in just over a decade. The biological aspects of the research extend beyond simple decomposition studies. Scientists examine how different disposal methods affect soil chemistry over time, creating distinct signatures that remain detectable months or even years later. This temporal dimension is crucial, as many disappearances occurred years ago, yet families continue their searches with unwavering determination. The Jalisco Search Commission has already begun implementing some technologies, using thermal drones, laser scanners, and multispectral cameras in certain cases. However, whether authorities across Mexico will adopt or afford these high-tech tools remains uncertain. For now, the research continues, driven by the urgent need to bring closure to thousands of families and accountability to a system that has failed them.